So in this series, we're talking about relationships. And today in particular, I want to talk about intergenerational relationships. You see, 40 to 50% of youth group kids, when they go to college, they leave the faith. Now think about that. Like with your kids and all of their friends, line them up and pick half of them. Half of them will no longer take Christ with them when they go to college. And for me, that's not acceptable. And it's something that I've had to deal with for years as a youth minister. See, having worked in youth ministry for 15 years, pouring my life into these young people, and then seeing them leave for college, and half of them leave the church. Not only that, but I've had to watch their parents kind of struggle with that pain themselves. You know, my whole life has been dedicated to sharing the faith with young people. And aside from my vocation as a husband and a father, that's the most important thing in my life, right? And so I've had to watch this apparent failure, when the kids go off to college. And so we're constantly looking at what can we do to bolster the faith in the lives of these kids, right? And so the first thing is the parents' relationship. Like, what are they doing? Like, what does their faith mean to them? How are they active in their faith? How are they sharing their faith with their kids, especially dad? But there are other things that we can do as parents. And this is where we get into this intergenerational relationship idea. So we can build up people around our kids, build up a team that's behind them, that's there to support them. And this could be almost anyone in your life. And you may be thinking of specific people that would fit really well into this. I mean, think about that person that you think would be a really good example, for your son or for your daughter. And as you think about this, I would ask you to sit down with your kids and talk to them and say, hey, I want to help build up a team of people, a team of 5 people that's going to support you in your journey. And help them figure out what are the kind of guidelines for who would be on that team. What are the kind of expectations of someone that would be on that team? The purpose of this team is to help them integrate their faith and carry on their faith into their adult life. So look at adult people that are doing exactly that. I would suggest that you stay with the same gender as your child, build up a team of 5 men for your son and 5 women for your daughter. And you may have suggestions for them, but allow them to pick them. Allow them to choose them. Even if it starts out with just a couple of people, allow it to build up to 5 people. That's okay. Just don't force kind of a person that you really want on their team onto their team if it's not a natural fit. So these are people that you would expect are going to pour their lives into your son or daughter. And this could be as simple as playing hoops with them out in the driveway, taking them out for ice cream or coffee. And it may even mean that they invite them over to their house for their family dinner and then spend a little time after dinner talking with them. Because they need to see them living their lives as they're called to live them. So as they develop that, as they build that up, you may even invite them and their families over to your house to further that relationship, to help the other person see who they are in their life and in their family. So that's one side of this intergenerational relationship that needs to be there. The other side that needs to be there is their own mentorship of a younger generation. And this could be as simple as, someone volunteering in the childcare, at your parish or at your church. It may even mean, teaching one of the younger grades or co-teaching with another person, one of the younger grades in your religious education program. It kind of gives them a little bit more ownership in their faith, and then they're held accountable for their behavior with the younger kids. They're setting an example. So this intergenerational relationship is important. As us as parents, we're striving to set our kids up for success. We do that primarily through our relationship with Christ and how we share and express that with our kids. And the next thing we can do to ensure that success is build up a team of support for them through intergenerational relationships. My prayer is that you do just that. God bless.